Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Pete on Retreat. Today, I'm going to share with you the actual cost for having a girlfriend here in Thailand. For anybody new to the channel, my name's Pete. In 2022, I sold everything I owned in the States so that I could retire early at age 49. My most popular video has been this one here. In that video, I broke down all of my costs for my first full year of living in Thailand. Well, my girlfriend and I have been living together for over 6 months now, so I thought I should compare the price of living with her to the prices that I had when I was living alone. First, let's quickly go over my costs for my first year of living here in Thailand. My number one cost was rent, and I averaged about almost 19,000 baht a month, which is about $519. My second biggest expense was travel. Now, my first year living here, I went to Japan, I went to Laos a couple times, I went to Cambodia. My travel costs were a little bit over 14,000 baht, or about $400 a month. My next big category was what I call fun. Basically, this fun category or entertainment category comes down to going out and seeing movies and hanging out in bars. My monthly entertainment average last year was about 12,500 baht, or 355 US dollars a month. My next big expense was shopping. On average, I spent about 10,000 baht a month for my first year of living here in Thailand. I knew that would come down because it was just my first year and I was buying a lot of things I wouldn't have to buy again, like a printer for my computer and new clothes since I only moved here with a suitcase. After that is my food cost. I averaged about 9.3 thousand baht a month, or about 265 US dollars. After that comes my bills. My bills averaged about 8.3 thousand baht a month, or 238 US dollars. In my accounting, my bills include my health insurance, that's a big one. And they include my storage unit back home, plus my bills for any streaming services and my phone, my utilities, my electric, and my water. After that, we had my school costs. I went to school to learn Thai for about 6 months last year. Spread throughout the year, that only cost me about 3,500 baht a month, or about $100 a month. Getting near the end of the list, next up we have my Bolt fees. Bolt, if you don't know, is the most common rideshare app here. It's basically like Uber or Lyft. There's other ones here in Thailand like Maxim and Grab, but I tend to use Bolt. I averaged almost 3,000 baht a month using Bolt. That came out to about $80 a month. Very, very much worth every penny spent. After that, we got my massage bill. I averaged almost 2,000 baht a month on massages, about $80 a month. I was getting massages, or at least trying to get massages regularly, about once a week. And my final cost on my first year living here was my visa fees. This is an interesting one because for half of the year, I was only getting tourist visas or coming in on visa exemptions, and then I got my retirement visa. So most of this fee is because of my retirement visa, but it also only applied to the half of the year. My visa cost me about 1,500 baht a month on average, or about $45. So how does all of this compare to my first 6 months of living with my girlfriend? Now, some of these might have changed order as far as what was the most expensive or the least expensive, but I'm going to keep it in the order of most to least expensive, comparing it to last year, which means we're starting off with rent. Now, since I've lived in Thailand, I have steadily gotten more and more expensive places, except for this place that I'm in now. Yeah, I'm in my new room. We absolutely love it. We've been here about a week, and this room is 1,000 baht a month cheaper than my last room. But for the purpose of this video, the first full 6 months that Goy and I lived together, we averaged 20,000 baht a month on rent, which is about 571 US dollars, because our rent was 20,000 baht a month. This place, it's going to be 19,000 baht a month. Not going to be much of a change there. And it didn't change because I have a girlfriend. Next up is my travel expense. This came down quite a bit because last year I left the country 4 times, and this year I haven't left the country at all. That doesn't mean we haven't been traveling. Koi and I take a road trip at least once a month or almost once a month. We've gone to Canterbury and Ang Thong for traditional Songkran. We've gone to Khao Samuk and Koh Larn and Koh Kud. We also had a road trip to Chao Chung Sao. I'll leave links for all those videos in the description below. But of course, this means our travel expense has decreased quite a bit. So we only averaged 4,000 baht a month for traveling for our first 6 months together, which is about 115 US dollars. This next category I didn't really have last year, and it's what I'm calling extra. What it really comes down to is buying gas for our car and for medical expenses. Goy has a car and I pay for the gas for it, and so that's why that wasn't an expense at all last year. Also, I had surgery this year, and my medical expenses last year were so small that I just threw them in with, I think, shopping. My extra expenditures for our first 6 months together were almost 8,000 baht, or about $210 a month. The majority of that came from surgery, which ended up being about 15,000, 16,000 baht, all said and done. I put extra up here on the list because added to our current travel, it kind of compares to my previous travel. We do have plans to travel abroad in the future, but Koi is starting to work now and she wants to help pay for our travel expenses. So who knows what this will be in the future. It'll definitely go up some, but it may not go up that much. Sorry, Editor Pete here. I skipped the entertainment part when I did this video originally. So we only spent about 5,000 baht a month on entertainment. This just really comes down to I'm not going to bars once or twice a week and buying lady drinks, and Koi and I just don't really drink. So this is, I don't know, 50-50 us going and seeing movies and us going out occasionally and having a drink or two at the bar, I don't know, once or twice a month. So yeah, about 5,000 baht a month, or 146 US dollars. Next on the list is shopping. In our 6 months, we only averaged 4,000 baht a month on shopping, which is about $115. As I had thought, our shopping dropped considerably. Now, shopping for me is, we're talking about any appliances, electronics, surge protectors, lamps or clothes, hats, new shoes, just anything, things like coffee makers. And yeah, we spent a bunch on this new room, but luckily this budget is before we moved. I might cover the budgets for this move in a future video. Next week, I'm planning on doing a condo tour for our last place in the Sky residence, so hit that subscribe button to get a notification for that. Our next cost is food, and this is something else that I'm tracking a little bit differently this year. Since Goy's moved in with me, she cooks all the time. She cooks most of our meals. We hardly eat out, maybe 2, 3, 4 times a week. So I split up the grocery cost and our eating out cost. Starting with eating out, we averaged about 6,000 baht a month, or about $172. Sometimes it's very cheap food, sometimes we're splurging. There's a sushi buffet that we go out to once a month. Once every month or two, we hit one of the fancy restaurants down by the cliff. But anyway, eating out was about 6,000 baht a month. Our grocery cost was almost the same. It was almost 6,000 baht a month, about $166 a month on average. This does mean that my food costs have increased, which makes sense. I'm buying food for 2 people now. So instead of being about 9,500, we're looking at approaching 12,000. But since we eat in so much, it hasn't been that much of an increase. Next up is my bills. Now, I don't pay for any of Koi's bills. She's got her own money. She owned a condo. She sold that. She owns a car. She's now starting to work again. My bills cost did increase a little bit. It's now about 9,000 baht a month, or $257 a month. And that's just because my storage unit in the States went up that much. I do anticipate my bills going up another $100 a month once I finally get off of my Thai travel insurance and get onto an actual local plan. Right now, I'm just deciding which one I want to go with. I've gotten quotes from different places, but it looks like it's going to be about $100 a month more than what I'm paying for now. Next up, we got school. And my cost for school was $0 because I haven't gone this year. I didn't graduate from my Thai program, but I wanted to commit to 6 months, and I finished that 6 months. I would like to continue with some private tutoring at some point, but that just hasn't been my focus now. Next up, we've got Bolt. Like I said before, Goi's got a car. So of course, this cost dropped a huge amount. For Bolt, I'm averaging less than 500 baht a month. I was averaging more than 500 baht a week before Goi moved in with me. Next up is massage, which I didn't think would change much, but I had a couple months after Goi moved in with me where I just really wasn't getting massages. So this average dropped, but I expect it to come back up. I am now going weekly again, and my massage therapist just moved back to my neighborhood, so I'm really excited about that. I've gone consistently the last 4 weeks. But anyway, this cost was only about 600 baht a month, or $17 a month, and it'll come back up. After that, we're talking visa costs. This gets a little complicated because during that time, I was still on my original retirement visa. Now I'm on a different retirement visa. Well, not a different one, but I had it renewed, and it was a lot cheaper to get it renewed than it was to have it initially set up. But since so much of those 6 months was still on my first year retirement visa, and since last year I wasn't on a long-term visa for half the year, which really kept those costs low, this cost actually increased to 1.6 thousand baht a month, about $46. But in the long term, it's going to come down. For the rest of this year, I think it's only 700, 800 baht a month or something like that. So, and in future years, this cost will get even less. Now, there is another new category here, and this is probably one that a lot of people are asking about. It's very well known that most expats that come here and find a Thai girlfriend are giving some type of financial aid to their families, and I do that. I talked to Koi when we first started dating about what she does for her family. Koi's worked her entire life. She worked in Khon Kaen starting at like 15. She worked in Bangkok from 18 to 39. So I had to ask her what her financial responsibilities were. She told me that she sends about 9,000 baht a month to her family regularly. And she told me the entire breakdown on it. Her son is now in university and he works part-time, but she sends him 6,000 baht a month. Her son's an amazing guy. He's in all kinds of programs. He's going to a good school. He gets good grades. I've met him a couple times now, and I'm more than happy to send him 6,000 baht a month. Goi also sends her parents about 3,000 baht a month. That's a total of 9,000 baht a month, and that's about 257 US dollars a month. 9,000 baht a month is, I think, a lot less than many expats give their significant other monthly. Now that Koi is starting to work, I'm not planning on not giving her that family fund. If she wants to make extra to give to the family, she can. But anyway, let's get to the bottom line. Last year, I averaged 82,000 baht a month, which was about 2.3 thousand US dollars a month. During this full 6-month period of living with my girlfriend, I averaged 77.5 thousand baht a month, or 2.2 thousand US dollars. So it actually came down a little bit. In my 1-year budget video, I shared that I kind of had a goal of living under 2,000 US dollars a month, even though my budget's much higher than that. I'm just trying to save money every month so I could take bigger, extravagant trips as time goes on. I figured that if you subtracted my travel costs last year, my trip to Japan and trips to Laos and Cambodia, that I did actually average under 2,000 US dollars a month. I wanted to see if there was a similar situation that I could work with this. If I subtract my surgery cost, did that bring my average down to under 2,000 US a month? No, it didn't. It brought it down a bit, but I'm still averaging over 2,000 US a month. If you subtract my giving to the family every month, then yeah, that brings it down, but straight up, all costs included, I am actually spending a little bit less living with Koi than I was when I was living on my own. But that's really because we are not traveling internationally yet. So that's it. What do you think of my budgets? What do you think of my spending? Do you think I missed anything? Leave me a comment down below. If you like this video, I very much appreciate it if you give it a like. Please consider subscribing to the channel. All these things just help to get my video out in front of more people and help promote it in the algorithm. As always, I want to thank you all for watching. This is Pete on Retreat, and I wish you were here.